back to Tim Walz. The issue here is this. Apparently, Tim Walz was in the military, and then he quit and, quote, retired at an abnormally young age, but nevertheless retired just a couple of months before the unit was deployed to Iraq. So, the media now, having been forced to admit that Tim Walz was not in combat, which is, by the way, the impression he's been giving all along. If you listen to his speeches, and I've seen various clips of things he said, and by the way, not just said now, but said when he was first running. In fact, so this is the stolen valor issue. To claim that you had titles you didn't have, to claim that you were deployed to places you weren't deployed, to give the false impression that you did more is to steal the valor of the other people who actually did those things. And I think this is a real issue. Now, it may not be as egregious as it was with John Kerry in 2004, but nevertheless, stolen valor is stolen valor. And Tim Walz has been doing it all along, his whole career. Now, the way that the media is trying to cover for the guy now is what they're saying is that, yeah, he didn't avoid combat. He wasn't trying to duck or run away from being called to Iraq. He didn't know that he was going to be called. But it turns out that this is false because military units, when they are called, are given what are called warning alerts or warning orders. So they send out a notification, hey, listen, your unit is going to be called shortly. So sort of be ready. In other words, make family adjustments, do what you have to do to adjust your financial situation and so on, because you could be called and you're going to be, in a sense, out of the country and you're going to be serving in another country, and obviously communications will be more limited and so on. So usually months in advance, the military will tell you. And so Walz knew that his unit was going to be called, and I think he decided, time to retire, time for me to get out. This way I won't be called. And in fact, he wasn't called, and in fact, he didn't serve. And so we now have a reason why Tim Walz quite likely quit the military. He didn't want to serve. And again, that's okay. You're allowed to quit. There's nothing dishonorable about quitting in and of itself. But we have a volunteer military. We're not in a draft as we were in Vietnam. But the point is, if you do that, don't then act like you did serve. Don't pretend that you were in Iraq or in Afghanistan